to know when we're on the air.
Feels like we're about to film a Taliban video.
We should be
We
live.
need the flags in the background.
So let's see if we are live. Can we see anybody talking in the channel?
Yes. No.
Maybe.
We need a teleprompter or something.
We do. We normally have one.
Oh, low budge for us, man. What's
Yeah.
up?
No, we'll
Where
be
is the
back
love?
on track for next week.
Come on.
Hey, we're on.
Straight low
Okay,
budge.
terrific. Okay, that means you guys have to be civilized now.
Oh.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the SOE Community Webcast. I'm Linda Carlson, Director of Community here, and this time we have our very first PlanetSide 2 webcast. I hope you're all as excited as I am. I stuck on my NC shirt today so that I can pretend that I'm not a Terran fan.
Pretend?
This,
Yeah.
I can't hide it. I'm Terran all the way, man. Okay, I have red underwear. Shh. So, this is the first in what we hope is a long series of webcasts tied to PlanetSide 2, and we're going to plan to roll these out from here until launch, so that's going to be a lot of good information. Today we're focusing on Meet the Team for PlanetSide 2, and we've brought in from the far side Josh Hackney. He is the executive producer for PlanetSide 2. Next to him, reading the questions off the paper, as you can tell, is Matt Higby, the creative director for the project. And right beside me is Tramell, who is the senior art director for PlanetSide 2. So I trust that most of you had an opportunity to read the comm link that went up on planetside2.com this week. That was pretty exciting for all of us, and we want to talk to the guys a little bit more about the team itself. Now, I should have brought an egg timer, because I know you guys can all go on for a really long time, and we have exactly 20 minutes, because we have another webcast coming on right after this. Can you tell us a little bit about what your background is? Where did you come from? What other games have you worked on? And how did you get into the game industry in the first place? You just love the pain? Who wants to start with that?
I came from planet Earth. I'm an
So
Earth.
you
That's
say.
welcome to
questionable
Earth.
sometimes.
That's what I say, but I'm studying Earthlings every day. My background actually started as a traditional animator way back in the day, like back in the 90s. Long time ago.
Dude.
Got in the industry as an animator, animated for about 7 years, worked my way up, and then did 2D animation, 3D animation, then modeling and texturing, and did some effects work, and did a whole bunch of other stuff. Worked on a couple stupid games like Fallout and Fallout 2, and
Oh yeah, minor products. Yeah.
Just a couple games. Was the art director on the original PlanetSide. Did that for like 4.5, 5 years. Worked on all the expansions. Then I left to do Neverwinter Nights 2, and after that, Duke Nukem Forever. Finished that up. Came back to SOE to work on the agency. Agency met its sad demise, where I met Mr. Hackney over here. And at the same time, I was working on PlanetSide 2 and the agency, splitting time for about 6-7 months.
Wow.
After the agency got shut down full time on PlanetSide 2, and that's pretty much me. 17 years in the industry. Been doing this for some time.
So you must have been pretty excited to come back to PlanetSide 2 and carry that artistic vision forward.
Yeah, my question was what took so damn long.
I think a lot of us are asking exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So what about you, Matt?
Well, I've been a gamer my whole life. I actually started working at SOE a little over 10 years ago, and my desk was literally right there.
Really?
This room that we're sitting in, which you guys could probably deduce is a 20-foot by 12-foot room.
Yep.
This used to be the entirety of our quality assurance department back during EverQuest. And I started making $10 an hour, sitting in a seat right over there, testing EverQuest after I dropped out of college because I was playing EverQuest 80 hours a week. Packed all my stuff into my car and basically drove out here and knocked on the door and asked for a job in QA.
Okay, the awesome thing about that is for all you guys sitting at home whose parents are really bugging you about the fact that you're playing these games too much and you're dropping out of college and getting poor grades, you can see how badly things go. You have to end up taking a job as a creative director on one of the best games ever.
Well, I got really lucky, and I've gotten a lot of lucky breaks. Now it's ended up with me getting to work with a really fantastic team on a game that definitely fits my passions.
And so
that's where I came from.
We really need to know, what does a creative director do? Do you tell people how to color in the lines, or what do you do?
It's actually an interesting gig.
What does he do?
I think now you guys might disagree with me, but I have always thought of a creative director's role, if you wanted to make an analogy to the movie industry. The creative director is kind of like the director of the movie. He's not the actor who actually goes and looks pretty. He's not the set dude who's making sure everything fits together and works really well. But he's sort of the guy who says, this person should walk on the screen and do this. This is how it should feel. That's sort of what the creative director's role is coming up with the vision for what the game is, what the world is, and then making sure that that's a cohesive and enjoyable and fun vision overall.
Which means we still don't know quite what he does.
Not really, because there's some overlap between what he does and what I do.
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So do you find yourself working as sort of a liaison between the different teams that are working on the game?
Definitely. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. We have 3 different kind of main disciplines. I guess 4 disciplines. On the dev team in general, you have a design team, you have an art team, you have a code team, and then you have an audio team. In addition to that, you have production, which is sort of overseeing the entire group and making sure all the pieces fit together. And the design team sort of interacts with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And the production team, of course, that's what Josh is in charge of, making sure that sprints get completed on time, making sure that everything is in the box and organized, and will be completely ready to ship at such time as we announce the game is going to be ready to ship. So tell us how you came to this position, Josh.
I fell into it, actually. I ended up stopping going to school for my master's.
I see a trend.
It's a bunch of drama.
Yeah.
I
was working on my master's.
Me too, man.
Actually, I was thinking about that exactly.
Stay in school! Please stay in school!
I was working on my master's and decided that I couldn't pay the bills, so I started working as a temp at a small-time publisher that was doing republishing, and I worked through basically all of their departments to a point that I actually ended up in the marketing department. They started doing small-time publishing. Very small time, so I got to work on fantastic titles like The Pokey Little Puppy and
I love that game.
Oh, man.
Stuff like that.
Good precursor to the
I used to
FPA
play
that
genre.
6 hours
a
Yeah.
day.
Pokey Little Puppy.
You now have established street cred.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No, but
And go
tell-
back and check it
tell
out. It
every-
was fantastic.
Tell
Games
everybody
Interactive
what
was
you
another.
actually studied in school, though.
Well,
That's
I
the impressive
graduated.
part.
Well, I actually studied electrical engineering, but my master's was in laser engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Laser
so,
engineering.
Yep, making lasers and stuff.
But I didn't finish that.
So you're actually building some of the weapons for PlanetSide
Pretty
too
much
now.
in his garage.
Yeah, no, I do all the physics fine. And I got really lucky. I had a really good boss at the time who said, "Wow, you like this? Do you want to do this?" And he helped kick me out the door and find my next job. So I went from there to I worked on the Terminator series for Atari. Went and worked at Vivendi, and then that turned into Activision. Came over to SOE. So I worked at the Bourne Conspiracy, and I worked on the agency, and then got an opportunity to come down here and work on, this great shooter. So
Right.
it's been like everybody else, a weird, wild ride to get where we are today.
Definitely. Now, one of the interesting things about SOE is we see that there is often a lot of lateral movement in the company as people move from project to project. You were last on Clone Wars Adventures, is that right, Matt?
Yep.
And then you guys were on the agency. Have you ever worked together before, all 3 of you?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
We still haven't. This is actually the first time we've sat in the same room
yeah,
for more than 5 minutes.
Wow,
As
that's
close
awesome.
as we've ever been.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see the
Still trying to
territory.
hide.
Otherwise, there'd be a lot of strangling. And
So how many people do you guys have working on the team in total? Because I've heard that it's currently the largest team at SOE, the largest single game team.
Right now,
better be.
directly in the game, it's around 60, give or take some folks. We have a good number of support people beyond that, some folks that are helping us out with the engine and the core tech and some of the graphics, and then obviously, even beyond the game team, we have a lot of other support people like yourself and folks
Right.
in marketing and community and QA that are helping us out as well. So Depending on where you draw the line on who's on the team and who's helping us, it goes anywhere from 60 to
It's
8.
fairly nebulous. I would say.
And we're still growing too.
And we're still growing.
Oh,
so.
really?
In fact, if anybody out there is an awesome programmer or a
Yeah.
really cool artist or wants to make video games, check out our jobs page because
Oh,
we
yeah.
do have some openings.
Yeah, there
Definitely.
you go. And you really want to work on PlanetSide too. This is a game not to be missed, if only so that you can see the cool early stuff before we can actually release it to you. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing. We're rolling out information on a regular basis, moving from here on forward. You might wonder why we're not talking a whole lot about game mechanics. That's because we're saving it for later. Every time we roll out a week of information, it's going to have a different theme, and it's going to be really quite cool. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's talk about what you guys do in your spare time. What do you play in your spare time? What games do you play? Do you play other FPS games for research? Do you just play PlanetSide 2 pre-alpha builds, or what are you working on?
Working on.
Well,
In
playing
spare
with.
time. Well,
Yeah,
spare
spare
time
time.
is that's a little sticky situation right there. There is really no
Where's-
spare time.
yeah.
Where's your spare time?
Exactly, but when I
Neither of us are going to say we have spare time in front
Yeah.
of Josh. That's
Yeah,
that's the
which
truth.
is the correct
yeah, but
answer.
when I do magically come up with the spare time, I do a lot of researching. Most of the stuff that I do at home is looking at other people's games, finding out how they do whatever feature is, feature X or whatever, and trying to break it down and trying to incorporate it into PlanetSide 2, or just looking at different styles of art and trying to soak that up and figure out if we needed a new weapon in the game, what should this weapon do, or if we need a new new kind of mechanical piece, like how should it be constructed. My thoughts are more just kind of like, what new cool features can we put in the game without actually killing ourselves, and what features do we have
Or
in
only
the,
killing
the
ourselves a
program-
little bit.
Or
Yeah.
killing the programming stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
what features do we have in the engine
But
that
here
we
we're
can
talking
actually
about
take
what you're
advantage
playing
of.
in your spare time, and what you're playing in your spare time is how to improve PlanetSide 2.
He's
Yeah.
a dedicated man.
That
Yeah,
is a
I mean,
really
'cause
cool game.
That's what every game that I play is for pretty much one purpose. It's very, very few games that I play for enjoyment alone. It's for the reasons I actually play games is to figure out how to make them look bad. And my job is to make PlanetSide
You hear
2
it.
look the best possible. So I'm looking at Battlefield 3 and saying, all right, well, how do we make them look like last year?
Wow.
So that's my job, and I take my job very seriously, and it never ends. I'm always thinking about new stuff, how to get it done, what type of the resources do we need to get this thing done. I'm always once I get a feature in my mind, I see it on the screen in somebody else's game, I'm running to the tech director and I'm saying, I want that. What's it take to get
And he
that?
says no.
Yeah. He usually says no, and I'm like, well.
And then he comes to my office.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, if you want to be second rate, dude, go ahead. Don't put it in. You want to be a buster, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you guys? Do you actually find time to play games at all? I mean,
I play a
anything?
ton of games.
Do you?
Yeah, I play
So
a
you
lot of
don't. You
games.
just gave up sleep instead.
Well, I can't sleep. I got that puppy, so
Oh, that's true.
yeah, I have a new puppy, and my sleep isn't very high on his hierarchy of needs.
Ah.
So I do play a ton of games. I play a lot of shooters, and I play a lot of RTS games and MOBA games. I've been playing a lot lately.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big follower of esports, so I watch a lot of StarCraft replays and Call of Duty replays, all that kind of stuff on YouTube nonstop. So that's
Very
basically my gaming life.
That's good. The ongoing research I think is important. A lot of us on the community team play a lot of different games as well, just for the same reasons that we were talking about earlier. The fact that it's good to learn from other people.
Yeah.
And bring that home.
Yeah, I just like competitive games a lot.
Yeah.
So all the games that I play end up being those sort of esports-oriented type of games.
Terrific. Now, what about you, Josh?
Not too
I'm
much
such
like-
a serious man. I never play.
He's
No, I
making
play.
lasers at home.
Yes.
I definitely play. Not a lot lately, but big on FPSs, big on action games. I do a lot for research too, but it's about getting that roller coaster ride, trying to find those games that will catch you for that first 30 minutes and pull you all the way through. And then I'll play those to the end. But there's probably, like these guys can say, you go through so many just for research or for whatever else that there's a huge percentage I don't even finish.
Oh yeah, I can't remember
Right.
the last time I beat a single player game.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I finish maybe 1 or 2 a year or something like
Yeah.
that.
To be honest, that's why I kind of like FPS games and MOBAs and that sort of thing as well, because there isn't that really long, drawn-out session. You can just jump in for a couple of hours, blow the hell out of a lot of stuff, and go to bed happy.
Yep, rules.
So let's talk a little bit about your team. Do you find that, have you brought in a lot of veterans from the industry, from within SOE or outside, or are you cycling in a lot of brand new people fresh out of college?
It's a good mix, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think on any team, and every place that I've been and all the folks that I've spoken to about it, you want a really good mix. You want the veterans that really, they've been there, they've done it, they have the experience and the know-how when they find the same problems. Because a lot of times you hit the same kinds of problems, the data's different, and the machine specs and that kind of stuff might be different. But you want that kind of experience, and then you also want you get some younger guys that have new ideas and they have a fresh outlook, and they bring just a different perspective and a lot of excitement, and they're really hungry.
That's the most important thing.
And the two of those groups feeding off each other
Yeah.
is where you get some really amazing magic happen. So.
Yep. I agree
So
with that.
can you talk to us about what happens in a typical day? Let's say it's a Tuesday. What happens on the PlanetSide 2 floor in Building 2?
Let me check my calendar.
First thing every day we have daily scrums. So
Okay.
our team is broken up into a bunch of different groups of 6 to 10 people each that are working on a specific thing. These guys might be building a facility.
Okay.
Those 10 people, artists, programmers, and designers, are responsible for making the facility be fun. And they have a big list of tasks for that month, for that week, that go towards that one facility. So they have a 10-minute meeting where they just stand up and talk about what kind of impediments they've met, what sort of support they need from other groups. Basically just get synced up about what they need to do to move forward within that group. So each one of the groups sort of goes through that process, and then we have kind of a larger meeting where all of those groups, the kind of leaders or the senior people of each of those groups, are in a room and basically talk about things that require cross-disciplinary action.
Okay.
Right. See if there's anything huge that somebody needs to jump on. The tech director and some of the senior engineers will be in there to make sure that everybody, as much as possible, can be able to move forward, and be able to make some progress during the day. And then we try to get a lot of those kinds of meetings sorted out in the morning. So the afternoon is really on what the team needs to get done.
Yeah.
So if they want to spend, a lot of them will spend the afternoon just working. If it's an individual artist creating content all afternoon, but that might get filled up with design meetings if there's or brainstorming meetings or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's really dependent on what comes out, and everybody's different. I think everybody, depending on what you're doing on the team, it's my day. I think all of our days is completely different.
Yeah.
Where it is during the month, because we work on a monthly basis. Just changes day to day. So
Typically that approach is designed to ensure that the actual people who are getting work done are in as few meetings as possible. So those dudes
Right.
have a 10-minute meeting in the morning, and then ideally they're free for the rest of the time.
and to be
The
clear,
senior
those
are in
people are
meetings all
not
the
us.
time.
Those
Yeah.
people,
Our days are
those
are
people get
destroyed.
work done, and it's not the
Right.
not the 3 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked at my calendar. It's like meeting,
Yeah.
Yeah,
lunch, meeting.
I end up seeing
Webcast
Josh in a
meeting.
lot of
Meeting.
meetings. Yeah, then you get dragged into this damn webcast thing, and
Yeah.
then we've got the Twitter thing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about that a little bit. We have just put up the PlanetSide 2 Twitter site. Clearly, you just go to follow PlanetSide 2, all one word. And these same 3 guys tomorrow will be doing a Twitter dev chat at 4 o'clock. And Amy, can you hold this up so that they can see? Oh,
I lost.
our feed disappeared.
Did the power go out again?
Yes, we need an electrical engineer. Okay, so these are the 3 guys. Please follow us on PlanetSide 2, and I don't know if you guys have looked in.
Seriously?
I don't know if you guys have looked in at all on the PlanetSide 2 Twitter feed. The questions are already coming in. They started coming in yesterday as soon as
really?
we announced that we were doing this. So
Great.
there's going to be a lot going on. Now they're only going to be on there for half an hour. So after they finish answering the questions, that's it until next time.
Yeah.
Got to keep you hungry, got to keep you interested in what we're doing here. So as we close out, because we're about to run out of time here, what's the single most exciting aspect of working on PlanetSide 2 for you? Is it the nostalgia? Is it carrying an old franchise forward with new ideas? Is it the fact that you can all attempt to beat me and my Terran army?
Attempt.
This guy's a Vanu, I know that for a fact. You guys?
Vanu for sure.
I play NC.
NC. Josh?
Vanu.
Oh, man, look. Terrans represent, right?
Horrible situation.
Ah,
I
okay.
feel so bad for you. But
Okay, well, we'll see how that turns out. But what is exciting about working on PlanetSide? The one thing you love the most?
I tell you, the one thing I don't love the most is working with Tramell.
Oh.
We can't all be
Yeah,
winners.
to bring that out.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I would probably have to ditto on that one.
You don't like working with
This
Tramell?
will be the
I don't
last
like
time they
working
ever
with
sit in the
myself
same
either.
room.
I raised my bar too high.
I know. I'm making myself work too hard. The one thing, I guess, is got to be, making, kind of sewing up that old, trying to make that old thing new.
Right.
With PlanetSide, it was just it was something that you couldn't, I don't think it's anything that you can recreate. That's the whole thing. That, like right now, I don't think we're trying to recreate PlanetSide. We're trying to make it fresh and new for more people to play it.
Yep.
Like PlanetSide will always be PlanetSide. There'll never be another one. So
Very true.
we're just trying to make this thing bigger and better. And for me, that's it. Just try to take the old thing and make it new so that more people can enjoy it. Because everybody I talked to, when we went to Shanghai a couple weeks ago, I had a couple meetings with some outsourcers, and one of the guys that worked at the outsourcer was a PlanetSide fan.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh man, it's got these stories. Everybody I come across, everybody's got a story. That one story." So he tells me his story about being a noob in a galaxy. So his first game, he gets in this galaxy with a bunch of dudes he doesn't know. Everybody bails out, and he's like, "Where'd everybody go?" And they're like, "Press the bail button." He's like, "Where's that?" And he's like, everybody's like dragging him along like he's a little kid. And he's like, "Okay," and he bails out, and he's like the only hacker in the squad. They're like, "Where'd the hacker go?" And he's like, "I'm in the galaxy." He's like, "How do I get out?" So he had this whole experience of him just kind of like fumbling through PlanetSide, but even though he didn't know what to do, he still had fun.
Right.
And like that stuck with him to this very day. So
Yeah.
we want to recreate that in PlanetSide too. And
Make
I
the
wanna be
magic.
part of that. Yeah.
Because that's really what carries it forward is the stories. Every time I get together with my old guild, it's always about the cool stuff that we did. I mean,
Yep.
the fact that you can actually stand there and defend a bridge for 4 hours, one bridge, and have fun doing it is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, unfortunately, we do have to wrap up. I know you guys have a lot of questions. Please get them ready for the PlanetSide 2 Twitter cast tomorrow. And these same guys will be there answering your queries then. And we hope that in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with another webcast on another topic. So tune in then.
Yep.
Thanks very much.
Shout
See you
out
then.
to PlanetSide Universe and the PlanetSide subreddit. And our
Vanu.
official forums.
Vanu.
And
all
all
the
the
community.
Terran players.
Yeah.
No, not the Terran players.
Oh.
Upside down heart for them. Real heart for the NC players.
Wow, that's hard. Bye.